Hello, everybody. Hello, good evening. Happy Saturday. It's your girl, Sharita, the Behavior and Learning Strategist, coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for your child's behavior and learning challenges. Hello, I hope you're doing great. We're midway through the summer, and then school is coming up again in a month. Some places 2 months, you know what I mean? But my mind is always focused on equipping our children at home so that when they go to school, they are ready for success, honey. So during the summer, it's prime time. Do we know that during the summer, a lot of kids lose what they learned during the school year? So it's prime time, okay? So I just want to put that out there to make sure that we're all focusing on still making sure our children are growing at home during the summer. Now, I got a good one for y'all today. It's really not one specific topic, but it's like questions that I'm getting from parents, okay? That I think are good questions, and I'm hearing them from more than one parent. So I decided tonight, let's just talk about it, okay? Also, you can comment below if you have a question, and we will chit chat. We will answer the question. We will talk about it tonight because we're all focused on improving our children's behavior and learning from home so that they can be successful in the classroom. So if you have a question, comment below. Also, I'd love for you to click share this page with other moms and dads so that on your page, so that other moms and dads can see, and they might have the same questions. They may be growing their children from home. They may be trying to improve their children's behavior, focus, literacy, and math from home as well. So sharing is caring. So we're going to share and love each other. Plus, this helps the page. It helps us reach more people so we can spread our message. So I want to thank you in advance for that, okay? All right. So a little bit about me. Background. I am a wife and mother of 2 beautiful daughters. My husband and I are high school sweethearts. We met in 1997. That's a long time ago. I know I'm dating myself. We have a 15-year-old daughter, and we also have she's going to be next in 2 months. She's going to be 16. Jesse's going to be 16 years old, a junior high school, and Maya just turned 6 on July 3rd. They are 10 years apart. Yes, we did that. But we have 2 beautiful daughters. I've been working as a mental health specialist and special education teacher in Newark. And I've been working with children for over 15 years, improving their behavior, focus, and learning, and academic performance, okay? Right now, I'm not a teacher anymore. I'm not a special education teacher, and I don't work at schools. I tutor and coach students from home to improve behavior and learning all at the same time, okay? So that's a little bit of my background. Also, how I've come to combine everything. I really believe that if our children are struggling, then we can't just focus on their behavior, because a lot of times kids act out in the classroom because they have fallen behind academically and they cannot function independently. Okay, so this is where a lot of our unfocused behaviors come from, disruptive behaviors, not completing their classwork or homework. Then when you assess them, you see that they're not functioning on their grade level, okay? So we can't just focus on behavior, but then at the same time, we can't just focus on learning by itself and not behavior, because the behavior is getting in the way of academic progress. So I was a mental health specialist. I saw my students struggling to read and write and spell, do math, and even spell their own names, some of them. And I decided to become a teacher so that I can improve their behavior and focus and their learning at the same time, and teach them how to read. And then I've been doing it that way ever since. The mission of the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute is to help kids read and function at or above their grade level, we love above, and transition our students from, and your children too, if you follow our page, from needing special education services and IEPs. They improve so much that they no longer need the accommodations. So That's what we're about. Let's get into the commonly asked questions tonight. Hope y'all doing good. Thank you for just joining, okay? Number one question I get is, will my child be able to read on grade level? Will my child be able to read on grade level? This is coming from moms and dads who have children, they're champions. They're smart, but they never learned how to read. They never mastered the basic skills of reading. They've fallen behind, and they don't feel smart. It's affecting their confidence and their self-esteem. And they struggle so much. And the parents work with them, and it is so difficult. And the teachers work with them. It's so difficult that it starts to seem hopeless. And parents are feeling like, well, is this possible for my child to read on grade level? Or should they just get an IEP for somebody to help them read the questions and help them, you know what I mean? Because this is their special needs child. They have a learning disability. They're not able to, okay? So I want to respond to that, how I answer it. When parents ask me, will my child be able to read on their grade level? I say yes. I say yes. I'm 100% confident that their child will be able to read on grade level. What their current reading challenges are temporary. It's not who they are. Even if they have a learning disability, you've been told that in school, that's okay. I have students that come into my program and they have IEPs and they have learning disabilities and they have ADHD and, but I don't focus on that. I find out, I do assessments and I work with them very closely and intensely, and I coach them, and I find out specifically what's holding them back from being able to read and progress in their reading. And whatever that is, we go at it. We fix it, and so that they can grow to the next level. Because your child, it's not that your child is incapable of improving their reading. It's that they are stuck at this level. They haven't mastered certain basic skills that will enable them to read. And it's been going on for years. So since they never mastered it, they're not progressing. So all we need to do is go in there, figure out what those blockages are, and unclog those pipes, right? And then these children are reading. I've never worked with a child that has not been able to start reading, improve their reading, and then continue to improve and progress with their reading after they come and started working with me. So I want you to understand that first. It's not that, and the question is, would my child be able to? It's not that your child is incapable of doing anything. It's that they haven't experienced the right customized reading strategies to help them break out of this area right here and progress and grow to get to the next level. So that's why you need to do a reading assessment, or I do reading assessments with my students. But that's why they need a reading assessment, and they need customized action plans. Okay. And it needs to be tweaked. It needs to be tweaked, and you need an action plan review, and it needs to be going on every month so that your child can get to the next level. Okay, so that's my response. That's what I always say. I have no doubt in my mind that your child can become a reader and become a good reader. Absolutely no doubt. So to the question, will my child be able to read on grade level? Absolutely, of course. And the core question should be, what is my child missing? What do they need to learn specifically that will enable them to read on grade level? What is holding them back? Okay? That's really what the question is. So once you answer those questions and customize their reading strategies, even the way they read, finding where they get stuck or where they don't understand or where they try to run off. I used to say run off the cliff when kids get nervous and they try to run off a cliff. Oh, that's a spot right. We got to get that spot. If they're trying to run, it's because that spot right there is it's nerve-wracking for them. They don't know how to navigate this to be able to get through this word. That's part of the action plan. And we have to work on that until they can get past that, get that confidence because they finally achieved it, and then want more. Okay? All right. So the answer to the first one is yes. Number 2, will my child be able to get out of special education? For parents who come to me because their child has been in special education for a long time and they're not happy and they have IEP meetings and they're not seeing progress and they want their child to be able to do more. Okay. Again, it might seem hopeless. Like my child needs this IEP, needs these accommodations, needs somebody to, he can't focus. We gotta be careful with that word can't. He can't focus, so he needs somebody right next to him to help him stay on track, or he needs somebody to hold his hand and put him back in his seat, or he needs manipulatives to do his work because he can't focus, or he needs something to squeeze, he needs to chew gum, he needs a break every 5 minutes, because it's all too overwhelming for me. When we gonna start going down that road, y'all, we gotta be very careful of that. And plus, we gotta be very careful of saying these things around our children, because they start to believe it and start to feel like I need breaks every 5 minutes or else I can't function. Again, I have my students come in and I don't do that. They don't take a break in that hour. I don't give them breaks. And I make sure, and they have to use the bathroom before class or after class. You know what I mean? But I always tell them, you take care of yourself, get your snack, use the bathroom before class, because when it's my time, you're going to be sitting down that whole time. Why? Because I want them to be able to sit down in class when they need to. So ask yourself why your child is in special education in the first place. What does your child currently need help with? And I'm careful with that language around my students as well. And whatever the accommodations are, whatever they're not able to do right now, we're going to turn those accommodations into goals. We're going to turn whatever they're struggling with that they need to be in special education for and need an extra assistance for, those are now goals. And now it's like, what needs to happen for my child to be able to remain in their seat? What needs to happen so my child can improve their focus? What needs to happen so my child can read the questions on their own? What needs to happen so my child can function independently in the classroom? What needs to happen so my child can address his, or improve his, I call it manage your emotions. That's what I have on my action plans. Manage your emotions. They get upset a lot and they fight a lot, right? Whatever it is that is holding your child back from being successful, that's now a goal. If your child tries to leave the classroom all the time and the security has to be called and all that other stuff, the goal is remain in my seat, right? If your child fights a lot, the goal is interact positively with my peers. You understand? So what needs to happen? We set it as a goal, and then we have a plan for how we're going to make that happen, and we keep going until it is now accomplished. So if you want to see, every time you have an IEP meeting, if you want everyone in all the professionals in the IEP meeting to be like, I've seen progress here, I've seen progress here, I've seen progress here. He's not even using these accommodations. This is what I'm hearing in the IEP meetings with my students and their moms when we attend, and dads when we attend the IEP meetings. If you want that, then you have to first believe that your child can get out of special education, and you have to make it specific what needs to happen. And you have to ask them. When you go to the IEP meeting, you have to talk to the teacher, ask the teacher, what needs to happen for my child to get out of no longer need special education services, no longer need an IEP. At first they might look at you like you're crazy. but stay strong. Because if right now, if your child look like they're nowhere near it, getting out of special education, they feel like they really need it, and they might look at you like you're crazy. But just talk about the plan that you have at home and what you're working on at home. Ask them if they see progress, right? And keep saying it. Keep saying it. And keep saying it to your child, okay? You could definitely make it happen. So my answer to that question, will my child be able to get out of special education? Absolutely. Yes, of course. Without a doubt in my mind. If children are in special education for a medical reason, and they need accommodations because of physical disabilities, that's different. But if they're special education because of they're not reading on grade level, because they have learning disability, but they can't do the work on their own, they can't understand or comprehend or the skills that they should have mastered a long time ago, they don't have. You know what I mean? They fight, they become unfocused, they get overwhelmed when it's time to take tests. All of this stuff can be fixed, and it can be removed, eliminated, and replaced with something that's going to serve your child and help them grow. And it will continue to grow. And next thing you know, they won't need special education services. So that's my answer for that one. Okay. Let me know what y'all think. Sometimes my mom's argue with me in the comment section. So I want to say something about that right at the start. Look, I'm here for your child. And I have nothing but love for you and your child. And I want what's best for them. But you're the parent, you know. And I always say, moms, you're the expert. So you know your child best. But I want to challenge you to raise your expectations and imagine, what if my child grew so much that they didn't need these accommodations? If you feel like right now, no, my child needs this, and it's been a help because they used to have tantrums and tear up the classroom, but now with these accommodations, I'm not getting phone calls as much. Okay, but do you want your child to continue to be dependent on these accommodations? Do you want your child to need these accommodations every school year? Or what if next school year or the school year after that, your child has grown so much that they are functioning independently and they feel really good about themselves because of everything that they've accomplished? What if you can make that happen? Okay? If you're with me on that, then we're on the same page. Okay? All right? Let's go to the next one. Do you think my child needs medication? I get that a lot for two reasons. One, because I work to improve my students' focus and their behavior. And two, because when they come into my program, a lot of times moms report that they don't need their medication as much, or they don't give them their medication as much as they used to when they see that they're fine. Especially in the summertime, sometimes moms might not give them medication because they're at home. You know what I mean? And they're in my class and they're able to keep up. They're able to write when they're supposed to write. They're able to answer the questions. They're able to think through math problems. You know what I mean? Their focus is improving. They're following directions. They see improvements also at home. So they're like, does my child even need medication? Listen, I have to tell you this. Like, I have a bachelor's in social work. I was a mental health specialist and special education teacher. I cannot tell you if your child needs medication or not. I cannot tell you to stop giving your child medication or that your child needs to be on medication. That's not my expertise, okay? So that conversation has to be between you and your child's doctor, okay? That's not my field of expertise. But I will say this, that in my program, it's not just in my program, but this is how I am as a person, okay? And I've always been like this, and I've always taught like this. Like, I always focus on, I never focus on diagnosis or medication. That's not really my focus. When I was teaching and my students had their medication, times where they had to do their medication, sometimes they would come without their medication to school. I still expected my students to follow the rules. I still expected them to focus. I still expected them to do their work. I still expected them to work and put effort in to have self-control, self-discipline, and be improving their own focus. My expertise, okay, lies in helping kids have self-control and learn how to function independently. So yes, they definitely improve their focus. Yes, they definitely end up being able to sit when they couldn't sit still at first. Okay? So you have that conversation with the professional, medical professional that can prescribe medication for you. But I can't tell you whether your child needs medication or not. But I will be focusing on making it a priority to improve your child's focus, because I feel like they should be able to focus. They should be able to sit down. They should be able to follow directions. They should be respectful to adults. They have to have self-control, not fight, whether they're on medication or not. And I want my students to not have to depend on medication to be able to achieve these things. So I'm going to do it regardless. Okay. Regardless. What I would recommend, just like we talked about the IEP, that when you go and your child gets, you go for an appointment, a doctor's appointment, you can then talk about progress that you're seeing, and you can discuss with your child's doctor, if they need medication or not. Okay. That's what I would recommend. Okay. All right. So the next one is, do you think my child has ADHD? Same thing. I get that a lot. You think my child has ADHD? Y'all, I'm not worried about no ADHD. Like, I have to tell y'all, like, that's furthest in the back of my mind. It's not even, I never think about it unless a parent asks me about ADHD. Like I told you earlier, if my students have a problem with focusing, then my goal and their goal becomes to make sure that they improve their focus stamina. That's what I call focus stamina. That means, how long can a child maintain focus on a task without becoming distracted by or inviting distractions into their environment? Because they do both. So they're doing their work. Something happens over here, a little noise. Now they're over here. Or they don't really want to do their work, trying to get out of it. And then they are trying to get somebody to come in. They're saying things, they're doing things, they are dropping their pencil, and they are messing with the screen, muting and turning off the camera, which some of my students do when they first come in, so that I can keep saying, turn on your camera. Some of them, when they first come to my program, getting up and leaving their seat, running across the room, stuff like that. All that stuff, when they first come in. So my focus is not, I never think, does this child have ADHD? Or if I know they have ADHD, I never think, did he have his medication today? Or did she have her medication today? That's why he's not focused. It never crosses my mind. What mine is, his goal needs to be remain seated. His goal needs to be get to work immediately. His goal needs to be stay on task. His goal needs to be wait my turn to speak. So whatever I'm seeing, I turn that into a goal. All these behaviors together might just represent, the experience that makes people feel like, or gave him the diagnosis, that he has, ADHD. Okay. But that's not on my mind at all. I'm really not, when I tell you I never, ever consider it or think about it. I just make it a goal, and then we just work on that until that's not an issue anymore. And I see it happening over and over and over and over again. So whether my students or your child is diagnosed with ADHD or not, do you still want them to be able to sit? And do you still want them to be able to stay focused on their tasks, complete their assignments, stay focused until they complete it? How about test taking? When it's time to take a test, be able to do that independently. Do you want them to be able to do that whether they have a diagnosis of ADHD or not? That's the question. Because whether they have ADHD or not, we want them to function independently and be successful. Whether they have medication or not, same thing. Okay? So that's my answer. Do you think my child has ADHD? I don't know, and I'm not the person to talk to about that. and I'm not even thinking about it, okay? That's my honest answer, okay? All right, the next one. What can I do to improve my child's focus? That's a really good one. Really, really good one. I tell you, I have probably 1,000 things that I've done over the years and keep coming up with to improve my students' focus, my own children's focus. So I'll tell you a couple, but there's many more. So when it comes to them sitting down doing their work, them having a structure and having a routine of how to set their own workspace up themselves, and for them to be responsible for it instead of us doing it for them and talking to them. Another task is to time them. So I need you, and I'll give you an example. Maya today, when she went into karate. Oh, I didn't say this yet, but Maya earned her red stripe today in karate, and she's getting promoted to orange belt in the next promotion. So I'm very excited about that. But she came in, and she usually comes in, instead of putting her things in the cubby, she turns around and she watches everybody see what's going on, right? Automatically that breaks her focus of what she has to do to get ready. She has to put her book bag in it. She has to have her nunchucks ready. She has to have her kickboxing gloves ready. You know what I mean? Her water in her spot. She has to put that stuff in her cubby in a way that when they go off the mat, they bow and they go and grab it. They have to go back. They only have a few minutes, right? And they tell them to hurry up and they have to do it fast. But what Maya was doing is she'll come in and she'll just stand around and start watching everybody. By the time she's watching everybody, when you tell her, all right, it's time to go get on the mat, she's like, oh, and she's spinning around. She's got to refocus to what she's supposed to do in the first place. So having some kind of prompt or a phrase that we say that helps them focus and get on track is good. That's another good strategy. And I used it with Maya today. When I saw her looking, so when she started looking, I just looked down and I said, all right, remember, you got to focus fast, okay? Quickly. Focus fast. I've been saying that to her lately. Focus fast. That means whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing, zoom in to whatever you're supposed to be doing and get on it right away. Focus fast. Focus fast. Focus fast. I told her to do that, and I said, all right, remember, we got to focus fast. I said, all right, you got 2 minutes. She snapped out of her little trance of looking at everything. She put everything in her cubby correctly. She went over to bow, ran over there, ready. It was so quick. Previously, I'd be like, all right, Maya, and this is what we have to do. I was taking responsibility for it. Maya, turn around, focus on what you're supposed to be doing. Put your book bag in the cubby. Don't forget your water. You got your new chunks right. Maya, turn around. Stop talking to people. Dance, do you see the difference? We have to be really careful with how we guide our children when they are unfocused in a way. If we guide them in a way where we take the responsibility, that means we have to keep doing it every single time. We don't ever want to be talking too much. We want to we just want to give them a strategy. We want to empower them, and we want to raise our expectations. We want to make it quick. And then they are more than capable of getting themselves focused and doing what they got to do. So timing helps a lot. Setting a timer on the phone. If you want your child to get ready, and they twirling around, next thing you know, they're looking out the window, next thing you know, they're playing with their toys, next thing you know, they come to answer your question, ask you a question. You know what I'm saying? You know how kids do, right? You're like, okay, next, I want you to get dressed for school. You got 5 minutes. I'm setting the timer. Set the timer, walk away. So then they are focused on the timer. See, we gotta get them, when their focus is all over the place, we have to get them to focus on one thing. We have to give them something to focus on. So now she's focused on the timer, and now she's just getting dressed and she's trying to beat the timer. So then when the timer goes off, she's like, I'm already ready. You understand? Because, and I'm talking about Maya, but I've seen this happen with lots of kids. Timing them when you want them to complete a task. I give my students writing assignments, 8 minutes. They have to be writing for 8 minutes. I set a timer. And I tell them exactly, here's another thing that will help your child's focus, exactly what you want to see them doing during the 8 minutes. And I reiterate it each time, over and over and over, to a point where now I don't have to say nothing. They all have their eyes down. They're all writing. They're all focusing. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody is unfocused, then I can redirect them back. But for the most part, everybody is doing their work. That's how they're able to accomplish the writing. I have to write 5 sentences in 8 minutes. They might not be able to do it when they first come. After a while, they do it and they're getting used to it. Okay, now we're going to up you to 2 paragraphs. You know what I mean? And then I add more time. But it's a time thing. I have to complete this task within this time period. For those of you who have kids that have IEPs, they're like, give them more time. Give them more time. They need more time for tests. They need more time to finish their work. They need more time. That is, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that. That doesn't teach them to focus and work. That teaches them that I have more time and they're going to keep giving me more time. So I can kind of waste time and there's no intensity here. This is not important. Okay. And I can't do this in a small amount of time. I need more time. I'm not able to. You see what happens? We have to empower our children, teach them so that they can improve their own focus. I could go on and on and on, okay? But I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to give you the biggest recommendation I have for improving your child's focus, which is customizing it. Whatever strategy you use, pay attention to what they're doing when they become unfocused. And think about what you want them to be doing instead. Where you want them to grow to, okay? So think about what you want them to be doing instead and customize a strategy that will help them accomplish that thing. Every child is different. Some of these things I come up with so many of them because I keep meeting different children and I keep seeing what they need in a moment. So we're going to customize these focus strategies for our children so that it works for them, it works for you, and it's going to help them function independently and do it themselves, honey. So when they go in the classroom, they got it going on to the break of dawn. That's what we want, right? That's it. Okay, next one. Do you recommend any resources I can use at home? Yes. First of all, let your child or have your child get used to notebook and pencil again. Straight up. Notebook and pencil. Notebook and pencil, and notebook and pen. Get your child used to writing again. Writing is so good for not only improving spelling, reading, writing, but also it's good if they want to write about their feelings. They want to write to solve a problem. A lot of times when they should be thinking about solving a problem, they fussing back and forth, or they arguing or making excuses trying to get out of stuff. That means we're roped up in it and we end up taking too much responsibility. But you'd be amazed at what kids come up with and what they can figure out if it's between them and themselves. And when they write about stuff and they figure stuff out. So I know there's a lot of everything is like, internet and devices and all that sort of stuff. But for your child's growth, we need them to think. We need them to be calm, okay? And we need their creativity, their own creativity to come out. This is how we learn how our kids learn, and we learn how our kids think. And we learn what our kids are really able to do. When they're in their devices, that's what somebody else created. You understand what I'm saying? Welcome. This is what somebody else created. But when they are in the room, when they're not, around their devices and they're using paper and pencil and they're writing, or even if they are doing art and they're painting or they're drawing, that's them. Get back to that, okay? Number 2, let's see one behind me. I've got lots of these in my house. A whiteboard. Having a whiteboard in your house and some dry erase markers and an eraser. We were just doing this. My youngest, she just turned 6. We were practicing her 9 times tables. They love it. They love it. So get you a dry erase board, okay? and set them up. This is how you create a learning environment in your home. You can have one. We have one in the family room downstairs. You have one in their bedroom. You can have one in the kitchen while you're cooking. They can be over there working on stuff. Kids love using the whiteboard to figure things out, okay? So a whiteboard, some markers, some erasers. These are magnetic. They're so cool. Some erasers. And this is mine, but Maya be using it. Jazzy and Maya like using this. But this is my, little pointer. So have them be teachers. Have them learn and have them work on the whiteboard and then teach their younger siblings. Okay? So have a whiteboard in your house. Another thing, I didn't even get to the internet yet, but I'll give you two more. This isn't the internet. I have to say, when I first started teaching, I didn't have this. I'm kind of old, y'all. I didn't have all these websites that you can go on and programs and stuff. And I didn't even have books when I first started teaching. All right, I'm not that old. My school had books, but I started teaching as a permanent substitute teacher in a special education classroom for kids with behavior disorders and challenges. Ooh, that's a mouthful, right? I was in that class because I had a background in behavior modification, built-in social skills, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So that was a perfect class for me. I loved it, all right? But I was a substitute teacher, and I just came in and, like, after a couple of months, I didn't have a lot of stuff. So I wrote out everything by hand. I did worksheets by hand. I used to create worksheets on lined paper and give it to my students. Now you don't have to do that, okay? You can go to Super Teacher Worksheets. We'll put the link in the chat. superteacherworksheets.com. Teachers use this worksheet, this website. Parents use this website. It's got worksheets on it from kindergarten. I think it's some kindergarten, but first grade up to middle school. And it's especially good if your child has fallen behind in certain areas. They are in the 5th grade, but they're reading on a 3rd grade level or 1st grade level. You understand what I'm saying? They need help with their spelling, reading comprehensions, different parts of speech, everything that's you need. Math, you know what I mean? Different grade levels of math is in there. So it's strictly a worksheet website. So you go in there and it's like $29 for the year, honey. Go in there and click on it, explore, get that membership. Some of the stuff is free to print out. It also has the adult sight word list there. It has the adult sight word list, and I think it also has a fry sight word list. So go in there and click on, type it in, and find that the sheet that has all those words. So over 300 words that I teach all my students, make sure they all know how to read. And it's going to move your child's reading ahead. It's going to be a game changer. So superteacherworksheets.com. And the other one is that I've used is Time for Learning when I was homeschooling my daughter. And Time for Learning is great. They have lessons on there, videos, you know what I mean? With the lessons for the kids to learn at different grade levels, all the way up until high school, okay? And they have lessons in there. They have worksheets as well. They have quizzes in there. You understand what I'm saying? You can design it the way you want, or you could just let it run. Your child can do it independently, which is what they should be doing, right? And I used this for my daughter when I was homeschooling her. And when she went back to school, because I homeschooled her for a couple of years, when she went back to school, she was way ahead of everybody in her class because homeschool kids definitely can learn faster and have a more customized learning experience. But Time for Learning, I learned, is teaching in 4th grade, what they teach in 4th grade in Time for Learning, what they teach in 8th grade in Time for Learning, is more advanced than what was being taught in my daughter's school. Okay, so another good website, go ahead and do that. And I think that one has a monthly subscription. So you go in and you put in your child's grade, what kind of lessons you want on whatever grade level, and it's customized just for you. So I recommend notebook and paper and pencil, whiteboard, dry erase markers, and then 2 for online, superteacherworksheets.com and timeforlearning.com. And it's the number 4, learning.com. We'll put that link also in the comment section. Okay. So, those are the resources that I recommend. That should get you started, honey. That should get you started if you want to improve your child's learning from home and if you want to create a learning environment at home. Okay. And the last one, I get a lot, is how much does your program cost? When I talk about my program and I talk about the success of my students and how they are taking quizzes and learning study strategies, and we keep going till we get 100, right? And how moms come to me, dads come to me for 2 reasons. One, they haven't been able to get results anywhere else. Their child has been stuck for years. They've tried everything. Their child has been IEP for years and nothing has worked. And their child still can't read. Like situations like that, and their behavior is still an issue. Those situations. And moms and dads also come to me when their child is not struggling in school, but they see some areas they want to improve and they want their child to get a boost. They want their child to function above their grade level. And I tell you one thing, in my program, I'm tough on my students and I have high expectations, and they all work. It's all customized, but they all work hard, whether they are below their grade level or they are on their grade level and we get to the next level. And I always teach them at their challenge level, which is how my daughter is in kindergarten, and now she has been approved to go into a 4th grade classroom, be a student in a 4th grade classroom in her summer reading program, because she's way above. They tested her, honey. She's going to the 1st grade and she's reading on the 4th grade level. I don't stop, okay? So as long as you want, and she's not the only one. I have other students too who are functioning way above their grade level. So it's recommended to stay in my program 6 months to a year to really see results, but my students usually show improvement within the first month. But as long as moms end up staying after that, you know what I mean? So stay as long as you want. That's what I say. Stay as long as you want. So if you want your child to keep being ahead of the game and function above the grade level, they can stay. So when people hear about my program and they hear about the successes of my students, they ask how much does your program cost? Okay, so can we pull up the price list? Okay, so I have 3 options. I just used to teach just my students, and I'll also provide parent coaching with my students. You know, that's included. Okay. And we also do action plans, and I also collaborate with the schools. Okay. So that's one option. And then I have another option. Okay. And that's in the comment section. Just clicked on the link there. I have another option where I have a reading club. This is the nerd in me, y'all. I always wanted a reading club. I always wanted to be in a reading club myself. So we have the link in the comment section. Don't forget to click share, y'all, for other moms and dads that are looking for tutoring and coaching services. All right. I have a reading club that starting soon when I get my first student, and we'll be focusing on reading comprehension. It'll be writing and spelling and more, because I always say good readers and good writers and good writers and good readers. So I'm teaching the child how to read. They're also writing. My students are always writing. Okay. All right. So reading club is once a week. And you get an action plan, and also, we review the action plan every single month. Okay. And if any of my students, have a hard time in the class and I need to work with them one-on-one, Then we schedule a 30-minute session one-on-one also outside of group. So the reading club is $199 per month. That's for the reading club, and that's every Saturday. Okay, and then for the mom coaching, okay, so that's parent coaching, moms and dads who want to improve their children's behavior and learning from home. They just need some strategies. Also, they want to be able to do that while also growing themselves and having and managing their own self-care. Okay, take care of themselves and take care of the kids at the same time. All right, this is $89 per month. Okay, so that offers mom coaching, weekly Q&A, access to learning videos, everything that we're teaching. I'm teaching my students in my tutoring coaching program, all the lessons and the resources. We find resources for you, honey, because this is what I'm using. So finding videos and worksheets, and then I teach. You don't have to search. You can go into our Google Classroom. You'll have access to that. No, it won't be Google Classroom. It'll be kajabi.com. You'll have access to that, and you go in there and you can use those resources to improve your child at home. Plus, we have a weekly Q&A to get support from me in doing this as well. So checklists, learning videos, checklists, and other resources for only $89 a month. So that's our silver package. And the gold package is the reading club, and it's reading club now. And then I'm going to change it after 6 months to a math club. So we're going to be doing both, okay? In the math club, like I said, if your child is struggling in their multiplication, if they never mastered the math skills, you know what I mean, that they should have, that's holding them back, and now they have more complicated math, we'll be building that math foundation, everything that they lost, so they should have mastered, plus more challenging on their grade level, because that's how I do it. I do both so we can close that gap. All right. So the math club will be coming up as well. And like I said, that is $199 a month. Okay. Now for the summer rates, we have still going on until August 31st. This year, August 31st, okay? We have for kids in the early learning group and the elementary group. I'm going to say, because it's all customized. Elementary group, can you slow up a little bit? Yes, that's $419 per month. And that includes 4 literacy and math group coaching tutoring sessions every week. Parent coaching is needed, monthly action plan review, assignments, quizzes, reading assessments, math assessments, and more, okay? Using Google Classroom, all right? And then, like I said, extra sessions. I also include extra sessions if I see a need to pull your child to work with them, because my students they must progress. So if I see something holding them back, then I will text you and say, can I see them on this day at this time to work on this skill, okay? So that when we get that skill out of the way, honey, they go into the next level. So I provide a couple of extra sessions per month. That's available as well, all right? And that's for $419 a month, okay? And for the middle high school students, and this is for my advanced middle high school students, it's 4 days a week, 2 hours per class. They get it in. The other groups is 1 hour per class. But the advanced middle high school students, they get 2 hour sessions, and it is intense. I tease them all the time. I'm like, y'all need a break, right? They're like, yes. Can we have a break, Miss Ruby? I need my break, okay? It's intense. That's for literacy and math group coaching tutoring sessions every week. Like I said, parent coaching is needed, monthly action plan review, assignments, quizzes, reading assessments, math assessments, and more using Google Classroom, and extra private sessions, 30-minute private sessions here and there is needed, and that's $479 per month. So we have, for the younger kids, $419 per month. All of that's included. And then for the Advanced middle high school students, $479 per month. That's still going on until August 31st and it's at a discount now because I'm not collaborating with the school. So get in now. If you want your child to get a major boost. I have a mom that's getting started on Tuesday. She's just getting started for this month before her child goes back to school. She wants him to work with me for a month. So we can definitely do that. Or you can continue into the school where I'll get in touch with the school and collaborate with the teachers and the IEP team and all that good stuff, okay? All right? And then we have the mom coaching program at $89 per month, and we have the reading club and math club for $199 per month. Okay, so that's how much my program costs. Those are the 3 levels. All right, the first level is the silver package for mom coaching at $89. The next level is the gold package for the reading or math club at $199 per month. And then the gold package is everything. Mom coaching, my students coaching, collaborating with the schools, 4 days a week is very intense. Everything they need, building that foundation and challenging them to go above their grade level. And that is that's the gold package. It's all inclusive. And depending on your child's age, elementary and middle, really elementary kids is $419, and the middle and high school students are $479. Okay, so those are the rates. You can click there where it says for more information about the reading club. Click on this link, and that will bring you to and visit our website. There's another link there. Our website is growthinstitute.mykajabi.com, and that will bring you to the program services and fees. All right. So we'll be back next week. You know, I got check in with y'all throughout the week, but we'll be back next week, Saturday at 6:30, with another topic. If you have a topic that you would like discuss, hit us up in the comment section. My daughter will be like, I have a teenager, so she don't like me using none of the language that they be using. Like, that's busting if something is good, it tastes good. She's like, no, Ma, no. I don't know why these kids think we're so old. Right? So you go into, just message me. If you have any questions that you would like discussed for a Q&A, or so it'll be on a specific topic on Saturday, or we will be doing another commonly asked questions. Whatever the case, I'm here for you, and I'm looking forward to your child's continued growth. Don't forget your own self-care, to take good care of yourself, because we have to in order to grow our children. It's a big job. It's a big, big job, okay? And you are a self-care leader in your home. So your children will also learn how to take care of themselves. Make it a priority. Love you so much. For more information, again, go to growthinstitute.mykajabi.com, or send some message. Believe in yourself. Believe in your child, honey. And always remember that growth is unlimited. I love y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace.